Hi boys and girls, it's Retell Tuesday, so I'm going to show you the proper way to retell a story. We are going to follow this flow chart, and as you can see we have our superhero on the corner here because it's all about superheroes this week. And this is a retell map that we're going to follow. So in the story that I'm going to read you, I want you to pay attention to the characters. I want you to also pay attention to the setting. Pay attention to what happened first in the story or what happened in the beginning. Then what happened next. And then what happened, so like the middle of the story, and then what happened last or at the end of the story. This is a way to retell a story the correct way. So we're not talking about the beginning of the story and then we're jumping to the end of the story. We never want to do that. We always want it to flow nicely. We also want to pay attention to our characters' names, and that's a good way to say the names instead of always saying he or she. Okay, and so today our book is called I Want to Be a Police Officer. Police officers are superheroes. Every single day they do something to help protect us and keep us safe. So this is our story. Pay close attention. First of all, before we read a story that we're going to retell, we want to do a picture walk. So let's do a picture walk quickly. Picture walk is looking at the pictures without reading the words. Town Safety Day. Looks like they're in a school. Now we're ready to read the story. I Want to Be a Police Officer. It's written by Laura Driscoll. I'm learning all about bike safety. Officer Green checks my helmet. Looks good, Eva, she says. Snug around your head. The straps fit well. You are ready to ride. Officer Green is in the bike tent at Town Safety Day. Town Safety Day. She already put more air in my tires. She put a bell on my handlebars. Ring, ring. And she tested my brakes. Check, check, check. I know Officer Green from school. Officer Green is at school when we have fire drills. I've seen Officer Green around town. She makes me feel safe. When I grow up, I want to be just like her. I see lots of police officers at Town Safety Day, and one of them has a dog. But before I go on, boys and girls, I want to look. I already know Officer Green. I know that the girl's name is Eva, and they're at the town bike safety. The officer's name is Officer Bill. He says, "I'm Officer Bill." This is Gus. Officer Bell and Gus are in the K-9 unit. Gus is a search and rescue dog. Officer Green, Officer Bell, Gus, Eva. This looks like Eva's dad. Town Safety Day. Gus uses his sense of smell to find missing people, says Officer Bell. And look she was hiding, and he found her. I love animals. Officer Bell is so lucky. He gets to be a police officer with a dog partner. Another police officer is making ID cards. She takes my photo and takes my fingerprint. She tells me it will be handy for your parents to have an ID card in an emergency. And here's her ID card, her fingerprints, and her name. The officer's name is Detective Lynn. A detective, I say. Do you solve mysteries? Sort of, Detective Lynn says. When a crime takes place, I try to find out what happens. I make a lot of phone calls. I talk to a lot of people, and I ask a lot of questions. I'm good at asking questions. Maybe I should be a detective. So now we know Officer Green, Officer Bell and his dog Gus. We know Detective Lynn. We know her name is Eva. Trooper Jones is talking to the kids about car safety. He lets us sit in his police car. Trooper Jones is a state trooper. His job is to keep roads and highways safe. I always wear my seatbelt, he says. It's the law that keeps us all safer. I make sure drivers follow all the rules on the road. I'm pretty good at remembering rules. I would probably be a good state trooper. And this is town safety play area. So here they're riding their bikes and practicing on how to stop and be safe. Officer Perez hands out flyers about wilderness safety. He is the game warden. Is that like a police officer for the woods? I ask. Yes, says Officer Perez. I love working in the great outdoors. So another officer we met. On the way home, I see the police officers in the parking lot. They keep the traffic moving slowly but safely. One officer stops the car so I can walk my bike across the road. It's Officer Green. Did you have fun at Town Safety Day? Officer Green asked me. Yes, I say. I did not know there were so many ways to be a police officer. Police officers work hard to make every day a safe day. And here are officers again. Remember, we met Officer Green. She was the patrol officer. She not only helped Eva with her bike, but she was also directing traffic. Then we met Officer Bell and his dog, Gus. And he is a search and rescue dog, so he's trained to find missing or hidden people or other things. Then we met a police detective, Detective Lynn, and she tries to find out facts about crimes. Remember, she asks a lot of questions. Then we met State Trooper Jones. He makes sure that everyone is following the law when they're driving their cars, not speeding, stopping at red lights and stop signs, and wearing your seatbelt. And then we met the game warden. Remember, he was in charge of keeping the woods safe. And also, if you fish or go on a boat, that's part of his job too, Officer Perez. So Eva met so many different types of police officers. Police officers are superheroes. They keep us safe every single day.